Ever wondered what your body's first line of defense is? Well, sit tight and prepare for a journey into the intricate world of your body's defense system. This system is like a well-structured army, constantly on guard, protecting you from harmful invaders known as pathogens. Our body's defense system is divided into three primary types: physical, chemical, and biological defenses. Each type functions in harmony with the others, but they all have unique roles in warding off these unwelcome guests. Physical defenses, like our skin and mucus, act as robust barriers, blocking the entry point of pathogens. Chemical defenses, on the other hand, are a bit more aggressive. They employ enzymes and other substances to actively destroy these invaders. Lastly, we have biological defenses, which are the friendly microorganisms living within us that help keep harmful bacteria at bay. Now, let's dive deeper into each type of defense. First up, we have the physical defenses. Our bodies have a remarkable system in place to keep us safe from harmful pathogens, and a crucial part of this is our physical defenses. They're like the walls of a fortress, designed to keep invaders out. Let's start with our skin. It's not just a mere covering, it's an active player in defending our bodies. It has three layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. The topmost layer, the epidermis, is packed with keratin and dead skin cells, creating a tough, water-resistant barrier that resists microbial growth. These dead cells are continuously being shed and replaced, ensuring that the wall is always at its strongest. Next, we have the mucus. This slimy substance, produced by the mucous membranes lining our respiratory, urinary, and reproductive tracts, acts like a sticky trap for foreign particles. It catches them and then directs them out of the body through mechanical actions like shedding, coughing, and the flushing of bodily fluids. But what about the air we breathe? Our nasal hairs work like a filter, catching microbes, dust, and dirt. At the same time, microscopic cilia lining our respiratory tract sweep mucus and trapped particles towards body openings where they can be safely removed. These physical defenses provide a first line of protection, blocking the entry points for pathogens. But they're not perfect. Sometimes a pathogen might sneak through. That's where our other defenses come into play. Our bodies are like well-fortified castles with multiple layers of defenses. The physical defenses are just the outer wall. Inside, there's an entire army ready to fight off any invaders that manage to breach the outer defenses. So, we've discussed the physical defenses, the outer wall of our body's fortress. But what happens when a pathogen does manage to get in? That's where our next line of defense comes into play. Physical defenses provide a strong barrier, but what if a pathogen does manage to get in? Stay tuned as we delve into the fascinating world of the body's chemical defenses. That's where the second line of defense comes in, the chemical defenses. Our bodies wield a remarkable armory of chemicals and enzymes designed to annihilate any intruding pathogens. These chemical soldiers are found in various bodily fluids, from the tears that moisten our eyes to the saliva that aids our digestion. One of these chemical warriors is an enzyme named lysozyme, found in tears, sweat, and saliva. This enzyme has a particular talent for breaking down the cell walls of bacteria, effectively destroying them. Similarly, another enzyme, secretory IgA, targets peptidoglycans in bacterial cell walls, rendering them harmless. But our bodies don't stop there. We also produce antimicrobial peptides, or AMPs. These include dermcidin, cathelicidin, defensins, histatins, and bacteriocins. These peptides are produced in response to pathogens on the skin, adding an extra level of protection against microbial invaders. Even our earwax, or cerumen, plays a part in our chemical defense. It contains fatty acids that lower the pH between 3 and 5, creating an environment hostile to foreign particles like microbes. Our stomachs too have their own chemical defense, gastric juice. This highly acidic fluid with a pH between 2 and 3 destroys any pathogens that dare to enter the stomach via the oral cavity or nasal tract. Urine flow, with its acidic pH, also joins the battle. killing microbes and directing them out of the body through the urethra. Even our skin serum, which reduces water loss and inhibits microbial growth, plays a part in our chemical defense. However, it's a double-edged sword, as it contains certain compounds that provide nutrition for certain microbes. Our body's chemical defenses serve as a formidable second line of defense, relentlessly battling against the constant onslaught of pathogens. These defenses, along with the physical barriers we discussed earlier, work tirelessly to keep us healthy and safe. Chemical defenses add another layer of protection, but there's one more type of defense that plays a crucial role. The final line of defense is the biological defenses. These are not like the soldiers or the walls of a castle, but more like the loyal citizens within. They are the friendly and beneficial microorganisms, the resident natural flora, that call our bodies home. These microorganisms are found in various parts of our body, like the skin, the mouth, the gut, and the reproductive parts. They have a mutualistic relationship with us, their host. They get a place to live, and in return, they help us in our fight against the invading pathogens. But how do they do this, you might ask? Well, these microorganisms prevent pathogen adherence and colonization in a few ways. First, they create an acidic environment by fermenting sugars to acids. This environment is inhospitable to many pathogens, thus preventing their growth. Second, they occupy available cellular binding sites. Imagine a parking lot. If all the spots are taken, there is no place for a new car to park. Similarly, if all the binding sites in our cells are occupied by our friendly microorganisms, there is no place for the pathogens to bind and cause harm. Third, they compete with the pathogens for available nutrients. Without proper nutrition, the invading pathogens cannot survive or multiply. Lastly, our resident normal microbiota also contribute to chemical defenses. They produce bacteriocins, which perform antibacterial activity. Together, these three defenses form a formidable force against pathogens. So next time you're feeling a bit under the weather, remember your body's first line of defense is hard at work. We've delved into the intricate layers of your body's defenses, from the physical barriers like skin and mucus, to the chemical agents in your tears and gastric juice, and finally, the biological soldiers of your microbiota. These complex systems work in harmony, ensuring that your body remains a fortress against invading pathogens. Your body's defense system is truly a marvel of nature, always ready to protect you from harm.